Okay, hi. My name is Dr. George Dublin. We will now begin the basics of the 7th APA style. Here's our course outline. Why change? The basic style change. In-text citation style changes. APA format and tables and figures. And output activity. Yes, we'll be having an output activity that is required and so that you can get your certificate. So let us begin. Why is there change? The APA hopes that it provides balance, directiveness, and flexibility. When does the change start? The change occurs sometime in spring or hereafter. So, what are the basic changes in style? In the APA paper format, the following are allowed. We have new fonts like Calibri, Arial, Lucida Sans, Georgia, and the classic favorite Times New Roman. A running head is submitted, and DOI changes are allowed. What is a running head? A running head is a head on the title page no longer includes the words running head. Actually, a running head is one that says the title, parenthesis, example, running head. Running head, the effect of Google on the internet. See that apostrophe running head that is classified as the running head. In most classes, you can find this. For example, the University of the Visayas, semicolon, a study on that is what we call a running head. The running head is deemed to be omitted for student papers because uh, it it's not more efficient. It's troublesome to read. It's not direct to the point. Next, what's the abstract format? The abstract format is limited to 250 words. That's the abstract. The word abstract must be in bold. The keywords are phrased one line below the abstract. The keyword must be in italics. And each keyword is separated by a comma. Take note that at the end of the keyword, there is no period required. What makes an effective title? According to the APA, the following makes an effective title. Let's see what titles that are ineffective. Example, a study on the effects of depression on the decision to join a clinical trial. Why is the study ineffective? Number one, it's too wordy. There's so many words. An effective title is this, the effects of depression on the decision to join a clinical trial. Why is this title effective? It's quick, easy to read, easy to digest, and it tells us what the study is all about. Now let's talk about level headings. In most classes, the level 1 heading is always centered. The level 2 heading is a side heading. Take note, level 2 side heading, side heading. Level 3 to 5 are side headings. Take note that level 4 are part of level 3. Take note of how these are arranged. Then level 5. These are purely different session formats that are allowed in APA. These formats allows us to make our writings more cleaner, easier to read, and easier to follow. Let's go back. Let's go back to the format. See, level 3 heading is on the right on the left side, whereas the level 4, level 5, and level headings are indented. Next, in-text citation style changes. These are the following changes. Number one, you can now cite Wikipedia. Take note. I hope. Wait. I know most of you will get angry because you would assume that is not Wikipedia is not a reliable source. Actually, Wikipedia can be classified as a secondary source. We can use Wikipedia if there are no other sources available. Then we have no more retrieved from, no more place of publication for books. Then you have DOI. Here's an example of in-text citation. What is an in-text citation? An in-text citation is found in chapters 1 to chapter 5 of the thesis. No citation should be found in the abstract. Then there are two kinds of citation in text. In-text narrative citation. It is part of the sentence of the narration. It is the format is author's last name and year. Example, According to Vasquez, open close parentheses, 2014, blah blah blah. Then you have parenthetical in-text citation. In parenthetical in-text citation, the author and the year are covered in a parenthesis. Example, author's last name and comma year. That's why they call it parenthetical citation. It's not something like a love mark, right? Parenthetical, something like that. It's a parenthetical citation. Then let's go to in-text reference. Here are the changes. Take note that the publisher's location is no longer included in the reference list. Take note, look at the example. You have Covey is R7 Habits of Highly Effective People, which is actually a very good book. The publisher New York, New York, Simon Schuster is included in the 6th version. But take note, in the 7 we excluded. We do not have to include the place of publication, but only the publisher. Reminder, each author cited in the reference must be found in Chapter 1 to Chapter 5. This means if you are the advisor, you have to check each and every single author citation in the reference list, go back to Chapters 1 and Chapter 5, and check them manually. Yes, I know it is so tiresome. This is why we say research is a scientific process. It is scientific because there are procedures that we have to follow and respect. How to cite a published book. This is similar to the slide a while ago, but we're giving a closer look. How to cite Wikipedia entries. We now have the following format. Oil painting is the title of the Wikipedia article. Open close parentheses, you have the year, the month, and the date. Take note that you have to put in Wikipedia in italics. The URL source does not actually mean the URL source. Rather, you have to look at the archived source version. Question: when and how can we find the archived source version? When citing Wikipedia, cite an archived version of Wikipedia page. So where do we find that one? Access the archive version on Wikipedia by selecting View History and then the time and date of the version you used. Now, let's have a quick checkup of what we learned. Pick the correct citation. Number 1. What is the correct citation for the following? I'll give you 10 seconds, 30 seconds to read them. Make your own answers. 1, 2, 3. Go on. Let's shorten it to 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Game over. So what are the answers for the quick checkup? You have the following. For number 1, the answer is B. Number 2 is B. Number 3 is A. So how much did you get? Did you get a perfect score? Or not? Or did you cheat? Anyway, let's continue. Journal articles or articles with DOI. What is a DOI number, by the way? A DOI number is a digital reference number that shows us where the citation or where the journal comes from. Under the 6 APA style, we have to write DOI, semicolon, colon, and then the DOI number. But under the 7th APA, retrieve from is no longer required. You just write the URL directly. See the 7th APA style example. See, you have HTTPS. By the way, HTTPS and HTTP are different. HTTPS is a more secure version, whereas HTTP is a lesser secure version of the website. For statistical nerds and grammar Nazis, we have the following tips. A new rule in statistics provides that statistical probabilities up to 3 decimal places are required. So some researchers would write 2 decimal places, but APA requires 1, 2, and 3, 3 decimal places. Writers should always use the singular pronoun they instead of using they. And another point of contention is that authors are required to use general neutral language. They should not They should avoid using he, she, the disabled child. Those words are not allowed in APA. We should be more neutral in our language. For UV references, in UV, we have the following tips. There must be a single space for references, and in between sources, there should be one space between them. And we should use a hanging indentation. The first line of the references is straight, but the second and the third lines, there has to be an indentation. We call them the hanging indentation. So what are the APA formats for tables and figures? We have the following. Take note, this is the format for tables. The word table is in bold. The description of the table is in italics. And then you have the following. The tables should be more cleaner. There should be an absence of a guide block of the table. Look at the example. The table looks cleaner. And at the bottom of the table, you can add your legends. If you do add your legends to your table, make sure that the word legends are in italics and the words that describes the legend or note are properly formatted. Now let's go to figures. You have in figures, the figure is in bold, and then figure is the figure description is at the bottom. By the way, for schematic diagrams and other figures, it is suggested that for UV, the words figure should be at the bottom. But if your figure is a graph, please follow this format. But for your schematic diagram, make sure that the word figure is at the bottom. The word figure is in bold, and the descriptive are all aligned into one line. Next, you are required to do the following. You will be given the file named activity output.docx. This file comes from students. I want you to correct these files, make the changes if appropriate, and arrange the citations in the proper order. Check each citation if each reference cited in the reference list is found on the two-page sample. You make the changes, highlight the changes in yellow, and then you email your answer to uvplagiachecker@gmail.com with the subject line, your last name, space, APA space output. Example, Cabuenas, APA output. After you submit that output, we will check it, and if all are in order, you can receive your certificate. Thank you for observing this very short webinar about 15 minutes. Thank you so much and God bless.